Hello everyone, what's happening? Back for another video. Finally, after about 9 months since the last video, I did one video for this season in the summer before the season had kicked off, where I put up a couple of selections. Then I wanted to do some more and start the videos again in September, October, November, December, but I just didn't get around to it. I just couldn't open the laptop and start recording for whatever reason. I just couldn't be bothered. But lots of people have been messaging me on YouTube channel and on Twitter, asking me where the videos are, saying that they enjoyed them, which I am surprised about because it's just me talking, um, just basically to the camera. It's no special editing or nothing like this. But I appreciate everybody that sent messages about it. Yeah, and I didn't think I'd get around to doing a video, but a guy in the comments called James Hartley has just messaged me saying where are the videos, and I was just sitting replying to him on my bed in the apartment, and I just thought, well, I've got a spare hour now, so I'll try and record one while I'm bored. Like I said, I started these videos during the pandemic when I was in Colombia, and I had a lot of free time on my hands because it wasn't so strict in Colombia, of course, the pandemic rules, but you're quite limited sometimes to what you can do in Colombia because it's dangerous and things like this. But now the world's back open. I just didn't get around to doing the video anyway, and I just thought I'd completely give up on them. But here I am now, and I'll try and start recording them again, moving on from this point going forward. There's too much that's happened over the season, so I'll just basically, just for this video, touch on the horses I've already put up in the first video 8 months ago, and give my opinion on some things that have happened recently, and probably just put one horse up at a short price, to be honest, for the festival. So my horses on this channel that I've put up, I put Brandy Love up 7-1, I think, 2 points. She hasn't ran all season. She's due to run on Wednesday, I think. Apparently she's working well. We don't know much about her besides the Donnellys have bought her. But yeah, I love her. I always have loved her. I put her up at 25-1 for the Mares Novice Hurdle last season. Unfortunately, she didn't make it. She got a stone bruise the day of the race, I think. So yeah, I'm still happy with Brandy Love. It looks like it's going to be a super hot race, but I do think, as good as Honeysuckle is, she's definitely regressing, as we all know. So I'd be hoping the younger legs of Brandy, if she's as good as I think she is, can still do the job. And I'm certainly hoping Marie's Rock, who I rate as the main danger, I'm hoping she goes for the stayers. And then Epitante, who knows what's happening with her. Love Envoi wouldn't be on my mind. Fair enough if she wins, but yeah, I just don't think she's the same level as the other mares. But I'm happy with Brandy Love at 7-1. Ahoy Senor was my other 2 point bet. He's 10-1. I put him up in these videos. I still think he's 10-1 now. I'm not as confident now as I was at the start of the season because his jumping is terrible. I thought at Aintree last year he started to put it all together. I thought this year he'd be more mature. He might improve his jumping, because I think that's all he needs to improve. I seriously do think if he was a good jumper, I'd fancy him for the Gold Cup above anything else. But because of his jumping, it's hard to fancy him too much. But I put him up at 10-1 in these videos. He's 10-1 now, and let's hope for a bit of a miracle on the day for anyone else who's backed him, including me. Allegorie to Vassy, I put 1 point up, 10-1 for the Mares Chase. Looks good now. She's very inexperienced, but she does seem to have a lot of ability, and she's 7-4 now, so of course I'm happy with that 10-1. And the Trixie, yeah, it's a shame about Allaho. I think even if Allaho would have made it to the Ryanair first run of the season, I still think he would have won. He's just a machine over that trip, but he's injured, unfortunately. So the Trixie is now a double with, well, it's not a double, non-runner, no bet double. It's one leg of the Trixie's down, unfortunately. But I still have Constitution Hill and Delta work in the Trixie, so I'll be hoping them to come in. I think they're absolute certainties, stating the obvious. So I think that I put them up at 7-4 and 2-1 in the Trixie, so hopefully I could get some returns back from that. But anyway, the one horse I was wanting to put up today, because there's not much value at this time of the year really, and this isn't even value, but I just fell in love with this horse this season, is Impaire Passe for the Ballymore 3-1 non-runner no bet. I'm going to do 3 points on this because if he doesn't run, I'll get my money back and my points back. I actually think visually he looks like a Supreme horse, and he should go for the Supreme. I backed him for the Supreme originally at like 14-1, but now I've had to jump on the Ballymore because it looks like he's going this way, because they had the same connections, have Hunter's Yarn for the Supreme, and they have Facile Vega, and the same yard, sorry, has Facile Vega, LA Toms. So I know Willie has a couple for the Ballymore too, like Gaelic Warrior, who I'd rate as the main danger to Impaire Pass, and he has a couple more too. Champ Kylie won the Laurels of Nace, and the winners of that race have a great record coming into this race, the Ballymore, as we all know. But Impaire Pass just looks the best novice hurdler by miles to me this season. I just love him. And yeah, 3 points, 3-1 in the Ballymore will do me, and that's non-runner no bet. I can't. I'm in Thailand now, so I can't log into my VPN to check the best odds because I saw he was 9-2 somewhere on Odds Checker, but it wouldn't let me view it from Thailand. So unfortunately, yeah, I can't check if that 9-2 is non-runner no bet. But I doubt it. It's probably in Coral or Betfair this. But I think he's non-runner no bet 3-1 across the board, and that'll do me. Like I say, if he does go for the Supreme or he doesn't turn up at the festival for some reason, I'll get my points back. So yeah, I think he'll win the Ballymore if he turns up. I think he'd win the Supreme too, and I think he's by far the most impressive novice hurdler this season. I also like Hidden Valley Lake. It's 7-1 for the Bartlett, but I was going to put him up, but again, I couldn't check the odds checker to see where he's 7-1, and I just couldn't be bothered. But for what it's worth, I like Hidden Valley Lake as a novice hurdler too for the Albert Bartlett. But yeah, just today I'll do 3 points, Impaire Pass for the Ballymore 3-1. So yeah, just a couple of things that's went on lately because I can't talk about everything this season, of course. But some hot topics on Twitter. I'll just give my opinion, and I'm wrong plenty of times. So if I'm wrong and you can all laugh at me, it's just a bit of fun, isn't it? But I can't have El Fabiola for the Arkle. I couldn't have him at Leopardstown, and he won so impressive. So I can be if I was wrong then, I can be wrong at Cheltenham too. But I just think he won in the fashion of a horse that wants further. I know he bolted up and he looked great, but Dysart Dynamo went off very fast. All of the field was struggling, and then the stayers kind of flew home late, like Banbridge. El Fabiolo had the speed to stay up with the pace at the front end, but he wasn't half strong at the line, and that was over 2 mile 1 furlongs off a very strong gallop at Leopardstown, and he was also double entered, like many of them were, but there was talk about El Fabiolo going for the 2 mile 5 race the next day. And of course, because of his jumping too, not just in the style he hit the line at Leopardstown, his jumping isn't the best either. It's not abysmal, but yeah, in a nutshell, I just think in the Arkle, it shouldn't be sharper for him. Over 1 mile 7, is it? It's just shy of 2 miles. I think I hear Ruby mention all the time. I haven't actually checked the official distance of it, but I just think that if Dysart Dynamo, which he will, goes off at the same pace in that race, I think El Fabiolo could clatter a couple of fences and he could be under trouble at some point. And yeah, I'd be fancying John Bon or Dysart Dynamo to win the Arkle. Maybe that's my pocket talking because they are the two horses I backed at the start of the season. I was on 20-1 Dysart Dynamo and 8 or 9-1 John Bon or 7-1. I can't remember. But I'm happy to be on them too. Maybe it's my pocket talking, but I think El Fabiolo could well be the best horse out of the three. But I think John Bon will take the Arkle. I really do. So yeah, I'm not sure what else I wanted to mention today, but it's just because I was looking at a debate about the Arkle on Twitter about half an hour ago, so I thought I'd give my opinion on that. And yeah, just a quick skim on some of the other races. It's incredible after time and now, but the two horses I like for the Turners all season was Mighty Potter and Manila Kakuna, so I've backed them both. And I'm extremely happy with Mighty Potter. I know he's super short, but I'll be shell-shocked if he doesn't win the Turners. And I think Gordon will also win the Brown Advisory with Jerry Columb. I'm stating the facts here or stating the obvious by naming favourites, but I do think it looks like there's going to be a lot of favourites that go in this festival, and I think a lot of them will be Gordons. I think Delta Work for the cross country, Mighty Potter for the Turners, Jerry Columb for the Brown Advisory. I think they all look like good things, and I'd certainly be recommending a Gordon Elliott treble, but I'm sure anybody with a brain's thought about this for themselves. But yeah, I didn't make any notes for this video. I just thought I'd open the laptop and try say a couple of things, give an update, maybe motivate myself to keep the videos going. So yeah, I can't think what else I even wanted to talk about, just besides I put Impaire Passe up for the Ballymore, a quick review of the horses I put up last summer, and just the conversations I was reading on Twitter about the Arkle with El Fabiolo, and I was reading about a couple of opinions about Gordon's horses at this festival. So I've given my opinion on all those topics, and that is what I think. So hopefully I could build a little bit of momentum with these videos now. Thank you everyone for asking about the videos, and hopefully all your bets are still intact. For me personally, this is this probably be my worst. This is the worst anti-post book I've had in a February for about 5 years. Usually, I'm looking at my bets and I'm just thinking, at minimum, I'm surely going to have about 8 to 10 winners at the minimum. But this year, I think it's been a bit more difficult for me personally. I've had, like I'm sure a lot of us have had a lot of injuries with our bets this year. Allaho, just to name one, and the races are extremely wide open this year, I think, compared to the last 3, 4, 5 years. So, looking at the anti-post book this year, I'm not as confident as I'd usually be, but let's just hope some of them go in and we can have a decent week. And yeah, I'll try and get a couple more up from now to the festival. And thank you again for everybody that was asking about the videos. And I'm not sure how informative or how good this video will be. It was just a quick recap while I've got an hour to myself here. So yeah, take care everyone.